The following podcast has been rated R. You've been warned. Welcome to the greatest DC Legends podcast in human history. Okay, maybe not, but stick around anyway, because we're going to have some fun. I'm your host, the Aqua Bear. And I'll be joined by the Council of Elders from the Kingdom of Atlantis. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Atlantis After Dark.
Hello, and welcome to our humble little podcast brought to you by the Atlanteans Alliance Group and the Kingdom of Atlantis. We appreciate you listening wherever you might have found us, now available almost everywhere you get your favorite podcasts, including Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and right here on Spreaker. Be sure to send your love by giving us a like, a thumbs up, or a handful of stars on your favorite platform, except for iHeartRadio because they suck. They might heart radio, but they certainly don't heart any of you. We appreciate you taking the time to tune in. As always, each episode, I'll be joined by representatives from the esteemed Atlanteans Alliance Group Council of Elders, as well as our friends and special guests of the show, and boy, do we have plenty of them today. First up, joining us from the Underwater Speed Force, he's so poor he chases the garbage truck with a grocery list. It's Black Flash. How you doing, buddy?
Mom, I'm talking to my friends, Mom. Wait a minute. Hey, guys. How you doing? I'm here.
What's going man? Yeah, you know, the same old.
My roommate was butting in. Sorry about that.
No, I hear you. It happens. By the way, how do you eat food that's been trash compacted?
Cubes. They're little compact energy cubes. I call them my Speed Force.
It's like prison loaf, right?
Yeah, basically.
Right on. Right on. Also joining us today, he's not a council member, but he tells me he has a giant member, and he knows how to use it. It's our FNG, Biffed by Adam West. What's shaking, dude?
Things are good. Good to be here.
Right on.
What's up, Biff?
I feel like Biffed by Adam West is just too much to say every time, so we're just going to call you Biff. Kind of like the character from Back to the Future. You can call everyone a butthead if you want.
What are you looking at, butthead?
That's fine.
It's manure.
That's right. Anyway, we're glad to have you on this episode. You have a hell of a roster, and I'm sure you have some tips and tricks that people will find useful. Maybe those are tips like spend $200 a month on the game. I don't know. Speaking of spending $200 on the game, making their first appearance on Atlantis After Dark, coming to us all the way from Gotham City's secret society, the Court of Owls. He's also the host of WROL podcast and master of the legendary order list, the man, the myth, the legend, that is Hatemael. Welcome to the show, pal.
That was a big intro for someone who's working through a big-time hangover. So I do appreciate you guys having me on here. And I will disclaim with that hangover, my usual B- performance may be lowered to a C, but I'll try to step it up to a B+ for you guys.
I am sure you will do your level best. We have a big intro for a big-time player. I'm assuming everyone here has already checked out WROL in the past, but if you haven't done so, and I'm not sure where you've been living under a rock, be sure to check it out. I was on their podcast here earlier this week, and we decided to bring him on here as a show of good faith and goodwill. By the way, Hate, this is an R-rated show, so you can finally tell everyone how you really feel here. Feel free to use all the F-bombs you want. We say them all the time. Fuck, fuckity, cuck, fuck. So, there you go.
See?
It's easy.
Well, I will definitely take some opportunities to let loose a little.
There you go. I want to cover this really quick before we go into anything else. I know Biffed by Adam West is somewhat of a unique handle, and I want to cover a little bit about the old Batman 66 series. For those of you who may not be aware, that's where Biff gets his handle from. Biff, you're a big Batman 66 fan. What is it about that show that drew you in?
Well, it was Adam West. For the younger people here that haven't seen the show, first of all, go find it. It's not that hard to find. But if you haven't seen it, you don't really understand the beauty and the mastery of Adam West's portrayal of Batman. To tie it back to DCL, he was really the original world's greatest detective. One of the great stories I like is there was an episode where he was chasing Falseface, and Falseface, the criminal, was dressed up as a bank security guard, and they were robbing the bank. And after Batman took him down, Falseface looked at him and he said, "Batman, how did you figure out my airtight, plan?" He said, "That was easy. Only a criminal would disguise himself as a licensed bonded guard, yet callously park in front of a fire hydrant." So he was the moral compass. I think in a lot of ways he taught me more than my parents, as far as lessons he taught Robin. And to get back to my name, if you watch the show, every episode has a fight scene, and when Batman, Batgirl, Robin, whatever, punch, kick, throw, one of the henchmen or one of the villains, a big bubble, an animation comes up. It says kapow, bam, and my favorite, Biff. And I still watch the show today and make a drinking game out of it. And
very nice.
When the right thing comes up, you got to down some.
That's right. And you have a heck of a liquor cabinet, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. I built an exact replica from a woodwork and a brass perspective of the bar Cheers in my man cave.
Cool.
I have 3 draft lines, beer on tap, and I have a pretty nice gin and tequila collection as well.
I saw that the other night.
Holy cow.
As per the Batman 66 show, though, when I was single years back, I have a 3-floor condo, and I actually had a contractor out looking into putting bat poles in my house from my bedroom down 3 floors to my man cave. And we actually spec'd out the project. Mm-hmm. And then Biff got married. And that project was delayed inevitably.
And she said no to the poles in the house.
Well, she said, you know what? She said it would hurt resale value. And I said, then you haven't found the right seller.
Yeah.
Bat poles
right.
behind a bookcase hidden that go all the way down to a bar. Come on.
I'd have bought it.
Yeah.
What an amazing idea.
I know, right? I know. If only the rest of us had thought of that.
Right.
Yeah.
My favorite part of Batman 66, at least it was the movie version, I don't know about the TV show, was Burgess Meredith as Penguin. Oh, I just love that. That and him being Mickey, those 2 characters for that particular person was just perfect.
Absolutely. I'm still, I don't hold out any hope on this, but my favorite villain on the show was King Tut. And I would love to see him somehow find his way to DCL, although I've never seen him requested by anybody on Reddit or anywhere, just in my little.
They've had a few characters that have made it into the game that nobody's ever once requested. So, and they've gone light on the Bat months. It's been Lantern. So
that's what we need. More fucking lanterns. And that's a nice segue, because let's get into some DCL content. Let's talk about raids, because I want to get it out of the way. I said it over on WROL. Raids are like 2 thick bricks of concrete that everybody has to lug around for 4 days. And I first want to mention that I think the KOA and the Atlanteans Guild did a phenomenal job. Even though a lot of us scored lower than we would have liked to on account of that terrible fucking Scarecrow and his mini-me minions, little piss ants. All things being equal, we didn't do too bad. We came in 4th. The guild overall did outstanding. I know Atlantis did 4th. Zebel did 8th. That squad continues to kick mucho asshole, and they are a shining beacon on a hill. Fishermen came in at 31. They continue to climb and impress, and we had some additions there recently that should be beneficial.
Yeah.
Also, Brian coming in at 59. Once again, exceeding our expectations. That kind of rhymed, didn't it? Brian at 59. I dig it. We're really proud of them.
Strong group, man. All the way down, top to bottom.
Definitely. And congratulations once again to the Owls for shattering this raid. And Hatemael, I know you already covered raids earlier this week, but now that you've had some time to reflect a little bit more, have your thoughts changed at all, and do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, it pretty much sucked. It was... I mean, the solo is the part... I don't mind. I don't care about the Alliance boss, because actually the more annoying the Alliance boss is, typically works out in our favor, just because we do have the most... I mean, we're the court of issues. We have a collection of all the people that have spending problems and addiction problems. And I mean, you look at even people like Tuditron, who recently announced he was quitting, yet he already has the shards for RB5 on, what's her name? Indigo.
God
so,
I'm glad he took a break.
Yeah, long break.
Enjoy retirement.
She was perfect for his... Yeah. So... As you could tell, we all have severe issues. So that works out in our favor because we typically have the tunes. And then if it's more annoying to other people, they tend to quit earlier. But I'll drop my F-bomb here. That motherfucking group had to go on Sunday and push hard, convoluted. And granted, I'll give them, they're saying goodbye to Alexi. So, I mean, it was a good send-off for him because, God, I mean, I've never seen Luke beg to end raids.
Wow.
He's usually the Incredible Hulk in raids, and he was done. We were all done. The last day we couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, it was obnoxious just to continue going against Scarecrow. It literally took every bit of your being to even want to fight that guy anymore.
I thought it was going to be pretty decent when, like, on Saturday, it seemed like all the alliances are like, "Fuck this, we're done. let's just end the weekend." I didn't get a good start on solo. I usually Saturday, with all my playing and podcasting and regular work duties, Saturday is her day. So that is, I have to shut it down on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually raids. Usually I'm usually MIA. I try to squeeze in solo because it's the best solo day because all those shared bosses that suck. So Sunday I was like, oh, I made it to 200 million, so it's like, this won't be too bad. I only got 300 million to go, but 300 million in this raid was brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And then Convoluted started pushing, and I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So it was like 12 straight hours of just nonstop grinding, and you wanted to murder yourself.
Yeah, they really made a run for it.
They did.
They were pushing.
Yeah, they did.
And the thing is, we're not going to allow ourselves to lose, especially if we have that kind of lead. So it's just more of everybody has to spend. So
Right.
It's like, just don't waste your time, people. Don't do it.
You had two people going for your energy, the devs and them.
Yeah. We always have somebody going for our energy. And that was on the energy reduction talk, which thankfully they reverted.
Ugh.
Some of us, I mean, for us, and I understand the vast majority of the community, and I would say probably 30% of the owls, it was a big negative. But for those of us that drop like 200K on raids for Alliance energy,
Mm-hmm.
that actually is a benefit because that means they can't farm more Alliance energy. So we were thinking about it. We're like, this might actually help us.
Yeah.
But I think net it's probably negative because then we'll have to buy Alliance energy and raid energy.
Some point or another down the line, it would have bit you in the ass.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I'm glad they reverted it. They had a lot of people pissed off.
Yeah.
There was a witch hunt going there for a minute.
Definitely. I thought the removal of the MVP points was a chump move. To do that in the middle of a raid, in my humble opinion, is unscrupulous at best. I don't care if they want to make a change to the game, just do it before the raid start and announce it so nobody's blindsided.
They've always had a challenge with communication. They've gotten a lot better over the last, say, 6 months, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know what's changed, but they have definitely improved, but this was still a dick move.
Yeah. I still feel that they did it because of the previous raid, the 10 time and Azrael. I think they realized they really shot themselves in the foot. Everybody with the amount of damage they could do. The
good point.
Energy stockpiles probably just went through the roof, and they were like, "Ooh!" But sell some RB crystals. Don't touch our fucking energy. You'll make the money just the same.
Yeah, definitely. Those of you who are not in the know, we have our own breaking news anchor Hugh Bradstone. And he was live at the scene this last weekend, reporting just after the chaos that ensued. For those of you who are not in the guild, I want to play that really quick so you guys kind of get a feel for just what it was like last weekend when they took away our MVP points. This is KOA Breaking News. KOA News anchor Hugh Bradstone here, and I'm sure you can hear the chaos as I'm coming to you live from the scene of what can only be described as a tragedy. We are now 12 hours removed from the DC Legends developers reducing the MVP points for the mid-tier bosses unannounced. The results speak for themselves. This reporter can only describe the scene behind me as hell on earth. And in fact, we haven't seen Fallout like this since the Red Sun debacle of 2020. And I think we all remember how that turned out. And, look, right now, here comes a protester. Excuse me, sir. Can I get your name for the record?
Bob.
Yes, hello, Bob. And what can you tell us about the decision to reduce the amount of MVP rewards in the game?
I don't know, man. I was just sitting here minding my own business, and then, all of a sudden, the DC Legend developers decided to take away all the MVP points because they're greedy fucking bastards.
I see. And do you think you'll be getting any compensation for this later on down the road?
Well, they better, man, because I don't like what they're doing. Hey, you get up!
Oh my God! 3 of the DC Legends developers have jumped Bob for the rest of his MVP points. Good Lord, somebody help! Oh God!
Oh God, you hurt me!
Oh my God! The humanity! The humanity! This reporter has seen way too much for one night. I can't describe the pain and the suffering this poor player is feeling right now. Not only did he not get all of his MVP points, but he was also severely beaten. Yes, sir. We'll be out of the way shortly. I'm not done with my piece yet. As I was saying... Shh. Okay. Well, it appears as though things will not get back to normal here anytime soon. Until next time, this is... Would you get off of me? This is Hugh Bradstone for KOA News. Back to you. We now return you to your regularly scheduled program. And there you go. This is what happens when things get communicated poorly.
Ooh, hope that guy's all right.
I just saw mostly peaceful protesters there. So
Awesome. Yeah, I was going to ask, who do you think is okay, Bob or Hugh?
Honestly, neither. I think
Right.
the devs might have taped up Hugh and threw him in the back of a van after that.
Probably. He's not going to win any Pulitzer Prizes anytime soon, is he?
Not my reporter.
Oh, man. You know what we never talk about on the show?
What's that?
Besides drugs.
Well,
Or politics or fucking religion.
that's just not on the recorded part.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We never talk about the siege. I feel like the siege is like the raids, only it's 3 weeks long, and it's PvP, and you have to wait forever to get rewards. Are there any siege tricks that we employ to help us through this? Biff, I want to start with you. What are some of your siege tricks?
Yeah, so I got some. I did a non-scientific study on the first couple sieges and have continued to monitor it. And I think I have something figured out. But before, as the great Vince Vaughn once said, for Hatemael and the owls out there, I'm going to ask you to put on some earmuffs. Because we want to help maybe some of the folks that are trying to break into the top 550 or the top 1,000 for the first time. And, generally I finish generally around top 150. I've never bought a pack of, Siege Energy. So what I've found is there seems to be a direct correlation between the number of times you're attacking daily in the Siege arena, which directly correlates the amount of time you're attacked on defense. Right. And for those of you, and Aquabear, we were talking about this the other day, that you kind of only do Siege once a day anyway, just because it's a pain in the ass.
Absolutely.
But for those of you that might go in there when you have a break at work or something and you see 10 energy and you just do 2 fights, you're actually doing yourself a disservice. I actually sit there and I look at my board and either one of 2 things. I see that, hey, maybe I got a 44K Hatemael on there that I just don't have the interest in going down that path. And this might be a board I refresh. I tend to try to do board clear about 80% of the time. But then I wait till I have 14 energy. I make sure that I have my 13 bonus, which is 27, 2 for refresh, my 5 fights. And then I'm done for the day. The other thing I do is if I'm going for board clear, it's 12. I have my 13 bonus and my 12. I do 5 at a time every time. Last Siege, I was not attacked on defense until the 7th day of the Siege.
Wow.
So I'm seeing it as just the less you're in there, the less you get attacked, the less you're showing up on other people's boards.
Interesting.
That's really interesting.
I never would have put that together. Hey, did you know anything about that?
Yeah, I can actually confirm that theory is correct because I've messed around with this in the past. If you do all of your matches at one time, you won't get attacked as often. And if you do it at odd hours, because my typical play time is, and early in Siege, like in the very first several, I always wondered because I typically play super early in the morning, like 5 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Eastern before work. And a lot of times I'll burn all of my energy then. I'll do my, collected energy, purchased energy, all of it. And I would never get attacked. And in certain sieges, depending on the bonus tunes, you want to get attacked because you want to do the revenges because they give you the most points net. But in a lot of other sieges, you won't be able to use bonus tunes or very many bonus tunes because everybody's running Lex lead and then you got to run your own Lex lead. So it just doesn't make sense. So that theory does hold water. So the ones I want to get attacked most, I space out my fights. The ones I don't want to get attacked, I blow all my energy early in the morning. Because the game takes snapshots of your teams, and depending on what people are playing, it pulls those snapshots in when they do their refreshes. So you'll either end up on boards or not. Even like when Siege first starts, if you want a bot board, you go in the first couple seconds. You'll get a bot board. But if you wait 5 to 10 minutes, you'll start to get people. Or if you wait 30 minutes, you get a full board of people. Depending on the Siege, you used to always want bot boards. Nowadays, with Arcus being obscene, with Grundy reworked, with Star Sapphire reworked, the bot boards, I went in early because it's always been my habit, but I learned quickly the Siege. I probably didn't want to do that. And then even this last month, I did my first month where I didn't buy a single day because I was doing a challenge against Chosen One, who's an extremely good Siege player. So we both didn't buy through the whole Siege, and I went in early, and those bot boards were brutal.
Right.
I totally don't go in early because it's raids just ended, and I wouldn't go in a Siege board. The second raids ends, my life depended on it.
I'm kind of mind blown here. I had no clue about that whole theory and the confirmation of that theory because I'm one of those people who has been screwing himself. I'll do that. I'll be at work and I'll pop it open and see, oh shit, I can do a Siege match and I just want it gone. I want those trophies, So here, like you said, I've been just disservicing myself this whole time.
Yeah, and I'm willing to bet a lot of people have. I mean, I know Biff and I spoke about it earlier this week. I do it because I'm lazy. I didn't realize that there was a benefit to it other than, being lazy. But yeah, there you go.
Well, I'm a terrible sieger, I'll call it, as it is. So with the disservice, I've apparently been making myself even more terrible. That's why you never see me way up on the charts. Black Flash is in the gutter where he belongs.
That's why you're chasing garbage trucks for food, man.
Exactly. I'm like Oscar.
Oh, man. Well, listen, guys, this is Atlantis After Dark. And I know that we always kind of do fun little things in between our segments. As you know, this podcast is always sponsored by the Guild and the Atlanteans Alliance Group. So instead of a typical advertisement this week, all of us chipped in and decided to sponsor Merle Nelson's title track off of his recent 16 super hits record. This was in part due to the response we kept getting to play the actual songs, and I realized, we just did a bit. I didn't have any actual songs. So we went back and we recorded this, and we hope that you enjoy it. Come on back. Hello, darling. Merle Nelson here, and I need to tell you how I really feel. This one comes from the heart, baby. DC Legends is a game I play. I love to do it every day. But sometimes I get to thinking deep inside. Well, Black Adam, he's as good as hell with Green Lantern and Azrael. But there's only one that makes me wanna cry. A blue Boy Scout, a man of steel, with a skin-tight suit for his sex appeal. But holy hell, what did they do to him? What did they do to him? His latest rework, it doesn't fly. He's just a useless taunter that doesn't die. The greatest hero of all time can't be used. He might be able to take the hits, but I think his rework is the shits. Oh, won't you do something? Won't you please do something? I said, well, won't you please fix Superman? Wonder Girl and Artemis make Superman look like a wuss. What's the point of increased damage if he has no buffs? He's Superman, he's always buffed. I can't take it, it's over now. I wish they could take it all back somehow. And I'll never get over how they screwed up his red sun skin. Thanks for the gems. Look up in the sky. He's just a useless taunter that doesn't die. Is it a bird or a plane? No, it's a shitty tank. I can't believe it. It can't be true. How could you nerf our hero in blue? How could you do this? How could you do this to Superman? And yes, I think that his rework is shit. All I want is for Superman to be Superman. Is that too much to ask? I guess I'll just go use Power Girl or Arcus or Lex Flippin' Luthor. Shit.
This is Hatemail from WROL Broadcast, and you're listening to Atlantis After Dark.
All right, everybody, this is Atlantis After Dark, and it's me, the AB, sitting here with my pals Black Flash, Biff, and Hatemail from the Court of Owls and WROL. And, gents, I want to talk about the in-game characters for a little bit. More specifically, what tunes do you guys think are going to get the most use after this latest rework? And BF, I want to start with you, pal. I think I know what you're going to say, and I'm probably going to agree with you.
Star Sapphire.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
Big time.
And I took her to L5 just because of the rework. I love the pilot debuffs. with her third she puts on people. She basically turns them into infants wetting their pants, and then she just fries them with her basic. It's fucking great.
I took her to RB2, man.
Yeah, you bastard. I got to finish this Wraith out to get the bulk of those shards to take her to RB1. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, come on. You hoard RB crystals like it's toilet paper during COVID. You're not RBing anybody. You're not RBing anybody.
Oh, come on. A little over 200.
I can't help myself. I had 12 yesterday, and I'm like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait it out a couple of weeks. And it wasn't 10 minutes before I hammered one out. I went against my normal rebirth strategy. So I did Arcus, and I had never rebirthed Arcus because I don't believe he benefits as much from the bump. I haven't really even found too many green tanks that can survive as 2 anyway at L5, but he was my only one in my top 20 of my rankings that was not rebirthed yet. So I did it out of laziness because I want him higher up on my board because I use them fairly often. So I hated scrolling over. Yeah. So I even though I didn't want to rebirth them, I couldn't leave 12 rebirth crystals in the till.
I rebirthed mine a couple weeks ago, and I love him. He's a rabid little werewolf. I love that guy.
Yeah, I've got a RB1 Arcus myself, and I do enjoy playing with him.
I face an RB5 Arcus way too often. I feel like just there's so many of them running around now, and they do. I mean, my RB5 Donna Troy can't always survive a double tap from Arcus if he double crits. That's insane. It's just absolute insanity.
Oh, there's no reason that should happen. That's craziness. An RB5 Donna Troy gets double tapped by an RB5 Arcus. That's an oxymoron.
Yeah. At that point, isn't everything just equitable to say, level 1? I mean, at some point, even though this is a treadmill game, everybody's going to have the same characters at the same level.
Well, he's colorblind, so he melts everything. But Blackhand may deal with him well. I haven't really got to use him against Arcus, but I haven't been super impressed with him when I faced him, but he's still to have him for that tool for Arcus makes him worth getting.
What is it about him that I haven't played with him yet? What does he do that will be beneficial against Arcus?
Well, his 3 ignores all immunities. So the death immunity, he'll hit I believe it ignores shield too. I can't remember off the top of my head, but so he'll just, as long as you do, I'm pretty sure he does enough damage. So he'll just wipe out Arcus before. It doesn't matter if he's got his death immunity or any of those on.
My wish for Black Flash they gave to Blackhand. That's some bullshit.
So you're saying the juice is worth the squeeze on getting Blackhand, huh?
Yeah, I think Star Sapphire is going to be the queen of this month, and then Blackhand, I think a lot of people are going to like. Blackhand interests me. He doesn't fit my usual theme for Rebirth, but I think we're going to get into later. But his Doom may fit well in my stun comps, so we'll see.
That's a targetable Doom, isn't it?
Yes.
That's so cool. That's like the targetable stun from Kilowog. I love it.
I think that's the best move in the game.
The targetable Doom or the stun?
The targetable stun by Kilowog. Yeah. I think he's so underrated because that move can really start a match off right.
Yeah, he's fast too. I really like that character.
That's kind of interesting because I'd kind of like to switch it over to this topic a little bit. Who are some of the best non-regularly used characters?
Well, I have one that I wrote down that instantly popped into my head. Everybody seems to hate him. I personally love him, and I don't talk about it much because you just get shit for it, and it's Metallo. I love Metallo.
Interesting.
The guy's great.
You're talking to a guy who has an RB5 Metallo, so.
I know you do. I'm very jealous of it.
I'm waiting for his rework.
Yeah.
He's still good, but at rework, he could be awesome.
Mm-hmm. He's great. He clears all those buffs he clears with his third with that cool little energy blast beam he has. He stacks up those strength ups. He's I don't know, I like him. Then the 0-turn taunt, I forget the most important part of it there.
What do you think, Biff? Who are some of your favorites?
Well, I'm, now that raids are over, I can say this. I like using Scarecrow. I'm big on evasion comps. I know that's Hatemael probably considers that pretty lazy, but I like my evasion comp because Batgirl's my favorite character. I won a match yesterday with Cheetah, so a speed team that had 2 reds and 2 blues. And I ran Batgirl, which is RB3, Harley Quinn, RB4, Cassie Kane, and Scarecrow. They're both RB1. And I won the match without an offensive turn because all 4 counterattack.
What?
Yeah, all 4 players in that group counterattack. So the person I was against was Cheetah, Kaga, another red, and another blue. I think it was Hippolyta or whatever. And my team didn't even go on offense because all 4 people are counterattacking. Batgirl counterattacks with buff stripping and can't miss. Harley can counterattack twice. Cassie hits hard, and Scarecrow counters with his most damage dealing move that also could have stun. So I love me some counterattacking evasion comps.
I'm playing the game wrong.
Right.
That's all there is to it. I need to rethink this.
You guys are like Sun Tzu over here with your battle strategies and techniques. I just throw anything at the wall and see if it sticks.
And I don't think evasion comps are lazy. I just hate them because my tunes don't evade. And if the other team has 1 evasion, they will dodge everything. Especially Red Hood. That fucker always dodges, even with just 2 evasion. I can never hit him.
Yeah, he's a pain in the ass.
I was going to say, Hate's got a pretty nasty stun team that I enjoy seeing.
I have 3 now. My core original, which is Hal, Catwoman, Donna Troy, and Killer Frost. Then my more popular one that everybody hated for a while, but people seem to have figured out how to beat it pretty easily now, is the Martian Manhunter, Artemis, Cersei, and Hawkgirl.
Oh.
That one's my favorite. I'm gonna eventually, even though Martian Manhunter really doesn't benefit much from our Rebirth, I'm eventually gonna take him RB5. I have the shards. I just been kind of holding off because other people have taken priority. But I want to have a full RB5. That team be full RB5. I'm expecting Cersei to get a sale this month, and she'll finish.
Isn't it 6 months after a tune comes out that you usually go into the shop?
The character that was with her, Artemis, got her sale last month.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, she should be following right
this
behind.
month, I would hope.
Yeah, you'd think so.
I need to save some gems.
Hatemail's stun team also allow me to do the same thing I did with my evasion team. If I fight that team, I don't get an offensive turn either, except I lose.
Oh my goodness. Well, speaking of characters that we could plug in on new comps, we all love Beetus. We love him and miss him on the show today, but he brought us a little segment that he calls the Dolly Beetus, and he's going to offer us a little bit of a Black Hand preview. So let's play that really quick for our crowd.
Oh, namaste. Welcome to my character review of Black Hand. That's right, very good. I would like to welcome you here as we go over the many powers that Black Hand possesses. So if you would, please relax, take a seat as we go over this new character. Let's go over his first power. It is called Black Beam. Yes, special damage, you would say, to an enemy. Don't forget, if they have a shield, 100% extra damage. That will come in handy. Also, if the skill is legendary, you will gain 3 crit chance up for 2 turns. Yes, yes, very good. Next, we move on to Death Comes. Light special damage and 80% chance, very good, to apply doom on the target. But 100% chance if the target is lantern. Yes, you must keep that in mind. Let's not forget the legendary addition removes 50% shield from the target. Good. Next we have Necrotic Blast. That does not sound very zen, but it does do heavy special damage to an enemy. Yes. And gained 3 intellect up. You will be very smart for that, yes. And the legendary skill to purge all immunities before the attack. Ooh, Arcus is gonna be very scared. So is Superman. Now we get to his first passive. Yes, very good. Gain 2 permanent int up. Always. Oh, that's very good. And 30% turn meter up each time any hero dies. Oh, either team. That's good. Legendary also gain 1 permanent crit chance up. Always. It will never leave you like the inner spirit of the third eye. Now we go to his last passive, Black Incarnate. If any teammate is still alive, 60% chance to revive with over half health. That is very good, yes. And the legendary gain a 10% true heal at the end of his turn. Whew. This looks like it'll be a very good character. One downside is he's not very fast, but that is okay, boys and girls. What we're looking for here is the inner peace of a character to determine their drive to be number 1. And while he's evil, he has very much good determination. Yes. I will give a tier of A. We think that'll be very good. Yes. Please tell me what you think. And with always, listeners, namaste. Thank you.
And that was it. Thank you, Dolly Beetus. We look forward to much more words of wisdom in the future. It was kind of giving off a Yoda vibe there, I thought, too.
I feel enlightened.
Special damage you have.
Special damage you have. Oh, goodness.
Strong with the buffs.
So for Americans, it's coming up. For Canadians, it probably just passed you. And I don't think the rest of the world really gives a shit. But Thanksgiving is coming up, or as I like to say, Christmas without the presents. It's kind of like a warm-up meal to the inevitable month-long droll that is the holidays. Everybody packs on at least 10 pounds. Instead of pissing and moaning about things, let's take a few minutes and talk about the things that we're thankful for in the game. And, Hate, I want to let you start, buddy.
Well, I am going to say thank you for this 4-year anniversary event. I know probably ungeared people might have been less thankful, but as an endgame player, I don't think I could have asked for more. I mean, it was fantastic, and the rewards were just unbelievable, especially the fact that it reset every day.
Yeah.
Multiple raids worth of rebirth crystals.
Yeah, it shocked the shit out of me. I didn't expect them to reset it every day.
Or did I?
It was fun.
Well, I think this is probably my only input on this is, yes, it's a 4-year anniversary event. And, like you said, hey, some of the people who probably didn't have, the right characters geared or up there probably struggled with a little bit. But I feel like if it's a 4-year anniversary and you've been playing since day one, you could have wiped through that pretty easily.
They marketed it incorrectly. They should have kind of let people know. They also, where they do the normal legendary version of the events, they could have done that. Done normal with lesser rewards. Shards and gear, gear materials or something that those players would want more. Because most of the newer players could give two craps about rebirth crystals anyway. So,
right.
Everybody gives a shit about blue rings.
Yeah, right. To me, I love the event, don't get me wrong, but it's like they were sitting around, they were like, hey, you know what? Day 4 raid bosses without bonus tunes would be fun. It was a bitch to complete. It's definitely possible. I know I've seen some people on Facebook calling everybody liars if they beat it, thinking they were photoshopping the rewards and shit. It was kind of entertaining. So, I mean, there was definitely some anger out there for it, but overall, it was a good event. Like you said, the rewards were just amazing. I finally got to take my Donna Troy to L1. Yeah, point and laugh at me just now, did it. But I was very happy.
I was, when I looked at it, it was refreshing to me because I can't tell you the last time a PvE where I even cared. Like I was sitting there, I put it on auto, I had a lazy comp, I wasn't even thinking about survivability. I think I had a back row comp, and I get up to make a gin and tonic. I come back to my seat and I see defeated across my screen. And I was like, what in the hell just happened? Like, I haven't seen a defeated on a PvE in the longest time. I went straight to Discord. my great Atlantean teammates, got me a quick, completely overhealed 4 out of 4, and and just marched right through. But I found it refreshing to actually have to think about it.
Yeah. I think a lot of us were in that same boat. I mean, I had to try a couple of times. I set it on auto myself the first go around and actually had the same problem. I only finished with 2 stars. And I'm like, what the hell? So then I had to kind of think about how to creatively navigate this. And I think the team that I wound up using was Lex SS, survival support suit. I think I threw Donna Troy in there. I also threw Azrael in there and Miss Martian. That was my team because I thought they did the best job of, producing shields, overheals, taunts, invulnerabilities. And yeah, Donna Troy doesn't hit very hard, but she doesn't have to as long as you got Azrael in there.
Well, you also ran a 6-person team by the sounds of it. How the hell did you do that? I ended up using Lex, Miss Martian, Star Sapphire, and Reverse Flash. And Reverse Flash just went fucking nuts. It was awesome. He just kept going and going and going. And you just could sit back and enjoy the ride. It was kind of nice.
What comps don't you use Reverse Flash in?
Not many. He's my buddy. If you're not first, you're last. He makes sure I'm first most of the time. So
you'd be happy. I was using Flash. I used Lex, Miss Martian, Flash, and Artemis.
Yeah, that RB5 Flash was probably doing some good work in there.
Yeah. He's so my PvE guy. He doesn't fit my comps, and I kind of regret rebirthing him at times, but for PvE, I love him.
Yeah. A lot of people seem to forget that he ignores awareness. So he's actually pretty decent against some different comps. You can stick him in there, and he'll kill people without him even knowing,
I break him out in Siege every once in a blue moon for that reason. And what I like is he's good. I would say above. He's better than good. He's above average in PvP, but on defense he is annoying as hell. So
yeah,
everybody always complains when they get him.
Yeah, he just starts popping off and doesn't let you go.
Yeah.
BF, there was a time I have a big board of rankings of all of the characters that I just update on a monthly basis. And there was a time after Reverse Flash came out that I actually had him in my top 10 overall Shars in the game. Mm-hmm. So you see how the power creep and the meta changes things over time. But at one point he was my favorite to use.
Yeah, I remember when Reverse Flash came out, and he was a thing of nightmares. I would come up against him in Wraith, and I'd just be like, come on, fuck off, man. Refresh. Like, this guy's just going to keep going and eat my soul,
Well, I know somebody else who is thankful for things in the game. It's our favorite party clown, Bonkers. He sent us a little clip, and let's find out what he's thankful for.
Hey kids, it's me! Woo-hoo-hoo. Bonkers the Clown here. It's almost that time of year again. A time when we all get to share our thanks for the things we have. And even though 2020 has been a terrible year, that hasn't stopped me from doing the things I love. And one of the things I love to do is play DC Legends. But one of the things that makes me mad is when they try to give you shards of farmable characters. Especially ones you never used, like Sinestro Yellow Lantern. It's enough to make me lose my mind. And when Bonkers loses his mind, well, that's when people wind up getting hurt. I mean, why are we getting more Yellow Lantern and Hal Jordan shards in this month's rewards? Bonkers might have to do something to fix that. Well, I don't think they're going to like it very much. Or we can just enjoy the things that we have, and maybe I just won't go for those rewards and use my energy elsewhere. See, everything has a solution. Until next time, kids, this is Bonkers the Clown.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Bonkers. He's now available for birthday parties, sweet 16s, quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs, and he is also a part-time summer camp counselor. So if you're looking to hire a clown, he's your man.
No, hire him for Sunday raids.
That helped us last raid. He was who we hired.
What the hell, Bonkers?
Right. Bonkers.
I see his loyalty.
He's loyal to the dollar.
Yeah.
That's right. If you got the money, honey, he's got the time.
I have $1.
It's going to take a
Just
little
one.
more than one.
Oh,
$2 don't count.
dang.
Yeah.
Maybe if I rub them together.
Oh, boy. Well, look, guys, let's wrap this one up. Let me go around the horn and get some final thoughts. BF, how about you? What are your final thoughts, buddy?
Hope everybody does well in Siege this month. Seems like Black Hand's going to be a necessary evil for everybody to compete in raids. So I'd like to see everybody have the tunes that they need this time. And this may be the final raid for the year. So everybody remember to save some gems. You got some Christmas sales coming around the corner. Other than that, enjoy the game. Talk to you next time.
Right on. Biff, do you have any last words of wisdom for us, buddy?
I just want to say I'm thankful for the 4 times offer wall. You know, my good friend Black Flash sent me a $1 credit report for 13K gems. My wife, I found out, actually uses oil of Olay and was almost out. So bought a couple of that and spent under $200 and got about 175,000 in gems. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Hey, you get the final say. Anything you want to plug or anything you want to say?
Well, one quick note on that 4 times. I'm not thankful for them ending it at 6 a.m. on a Friday when I thought that the thing went all the way through the entire event. And I'm also not thankful for the fact that you have to type in the word hydrate when you buy all that crap, and which I did not do. So I bought a bunch of Olay, did not get the gems. And then when I was going to go back in and do all the rest of them, the event had ended. So I was so upset. Like, I went on a tantrum, if you want to ask my alliance. And then I went on a tantrum to WB begging them to extend it because we had one guy in our alliance get 650,000 gems from purchases. And he spent $200-something.
Good Lord, man.
I think he spent $250 for 650,000 gems.
KOA, breaking news.
Yeah.
So the Owls are going to be in first next month after that.
All of them bought it, so yeah, we're flush with, well, except for me. Everybody's flush with gems at the moment.
I have to tap my Swedish gem account.
But I do thank you guys for this episode. I'm, as you've noticed, happily plugging you guys because I think you're doing awesome work, and I know the work you're putting into it is immense. So, I mean, just great listening. As soon as an episode drops, I start playing it right away, which I do not do with very many podcasts. So, just a testament to how well you're doing.
Yeah,
you guys have
thank you.
a great growing alliance. So, if you guys want to continue for third place, that's fine by me. I'd prefer that instead of putting all that effort into first.
Well, we certainly appreciate it.
One day, let us grow up first.
That's right.
I do believe this is the last raid for the year.
I don't think
they're going to do one for Christmas. I don't know for 100% certain, but hopefully they don't. That'd be terrible.
Yeah, so like I said, remember to save your gems, boys and girls.
That's it. And we certainly appreciate you, Hatemael, coming on and sharing your wisdom and your wealth of knowledge. And again, if you have not checked him out, you've been living under a rock, go to WROL, search for it. It's on YouTube. It's everywhere you get your favorite podcasts. And with that, we are going to wrap this one up. We want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to be with us today. Never miss an episode. Subscribe, drop some love with likes, stars, or high fives, and spread the word if you like what you hear. We depend on your word of mouth to grow, and we certainly appreciate our listeners for doing so. We love you, stay safe, and thank you once again for listening. We'll see you right here next time on Atlantis After Dark. For Black Flash, for Biff, and our special guest, Hatemael, so long, everybody. On Thursday, October 29th, Bidsmeister, or Bids, from the League of Assassins Infinity Island tragically passed away after a long battle with COVID. He was, and always will be, LOA family, and he will never be forgotten. Our thoughts are with his family, his friends, and the LOA throughout this difficult time.